Here's the dashboard, and we helped Nemko build this, so I want to show you the user experience and a few of the features. Again, this is the only sheet in the workbook that the users interact with. And this is unique to Nemko, so if you need a dashboard, yours will look very different than this, I'm sure. But the first thing they do is they click Sync Database. Obviously, this just pulls in the latest information. And this is really important. Obviously, maybe we're going to be supporting a new model number. So now we have that content here to use in our templates. Or maybe we have a new sales rep. Their name will appear here. This may seem like a small feature, but this saves a whole bunch of time for the users. They don't have to have 6 databases or spreadsheets open, cross-referencing. All the information is just here with one click. And by the way, while we're here on the sales reps, my favorite of the fake sales reps is Mr. Bill Ding here. He's a real stand-up guy. So let me enter some information on the dashboard so we have something to work with. Okay, so moving over to the product information, let's take a look at the model number drop-down box. Notice we have 4 items here. If I go back to customer name and select Volkmann, you can see we have different product or different model numbers here. This is a cascading drop-down box, and it'll only show model numbers pertinent to this customer. Okay, so notice also as I'm clicking on these drop-down boxes, it's automatically selecting the first item in the drop-down box. So these drop-down boxes down here cascade on both the customer name and the model. This is why we only have one item in the drop-down list. And this is also why we're automatically selecting the first item. This just saves the user a whole bunch of time rather than having to click, click, click. It's a lot faster. We won't fill out all the information. Let's just generate some files now. So in this dialog, I'm going to click Required. This selects only the required templates based on the information the user has entered. Coincidentally enough, the scope determines which templates are required. I'll show you in the next video how we teach Docmo which templates are required, but for now just know that we have 4 that are required based on the scope. So I'll click Generate. Right now it's obviously just opening up the templates, filling them out, and saving them. So we'll open the directory, and you can see here are 4 documents that have been generated. Notice the folder structure up here. I'll go up a couple levels to my root directory for the case study here. Here's the Excel file that I'm using. Here's where I store all the templates. And here's a new directory that is created for the customer that we just generated these documents for. Inside here we have another folder based on the project number and the scope. And then inside there we store the documents. Let me change the scope. And then let's see if we have a different number of files that are necessary. We do. We have 5 templates required now. Let's generate these as well. Maybe the customer has 2 different scopes they want us to be working on. So we'll open this directory. And if we go up one level, you can see now we have 2 different directories, one for each scope we've generated documents for. So let's go back into Docmo. And the next thing the users do is send the emails. So you can see we have just one email to send. It's attached the necessary files. It's filled out the addresses, the subject, and the body with all the necessary information. So it's easy to see how much time this saves. And the documents we produce no longer contain mistakes. And if the requirements change, it's no problem to reissue the same documents or to retrain your people. In the next video, we'll get a little more technical. I'll show you how the contents of the documents are actually prepared, and I'll show you how Docmo knows which folders to create, which templates are necessary, how to compile the emails, what to attach, etc.